What's the use of a word if you can't use it? All words were made to use as long as you don't abuse it. You see the don't say this, don't say that. That does get me vexed. Nothing's wrong with a word used in the right context. Criminal swine politics, padding pseudo-racists. They make them words because all them things do exist. You must call a snake a snake. You must call a hog a hog. What else you call a dirty rat? And a dog must be called a dog. Now they have a thing they call jackass. And I'm sure all of you have heard. It's because the place full of jackasses. And I'm talking about the true sense of the word.
Permit me to officially say a pleasant good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope each and every one of you guys are doing good this afternoon.
The place full of police and thief.
I have the existing problem, but however today I said, you know what? I definitely cannot continue like this. I really need to, be able to come on the program and give you guys something, man. You know, it's been a while. Definitely it's been a while. And so I need to be here this afternoon to be able to give you guys conversation that you guys have missed in a very long while, all right?
It's a thief, it's a clumps and crooks, pancake face, all them words in the book. If you're blowing something, that's blowing. Brushing something, well, you're brushing. If you're eating saltfish, well, you're eating. And if you're screwing, then you're screwing. And if you're going, say that you're going. And you don't have to use no code. And when you come in, tell me you're coming. And I'm talking about the true sense of the word.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get down to it very busy this evening. We are not going to stick too much on the conversation of the calypso, that is. But we're going to jump into it, all right? Ladies and gentlemen, we want to remind you guys of the Post Royals Village Group. They present the Post Royal Day. That will be happening on the 19th of June. Yes, starting from 7 a.m. Free food includes breakfast. Yes, a solid bar awaits you. And activities like road relay, bouncing castle, face painting, games, steel pan music, culture and presentation, live performances, and much more. Music by a popular DJ, so don't forget you guys really need to be at this one so you guys can be a part thereof, all right? Green Screen Promotion, she presents the Greens 50 Shades Darker, that is. That's the day cruise on the 27th of July. So you guys really need to, go on out and be a part of this one. So you can check it out. The day cruise is happening on the 27th aboard the Kayak Princess. DJ Fishman Smiley and MC Big Joe International will be aboard. Yes, $85 for regular, $300 for VIP. So go and be a part of this one. The New York Support Group cordially invites you guys to attend the Exquisite Affair, an evening of elegance, style, and class that would be held on the 21st of June, starting at 9 p.m. Music by DJ Jude and Small Clothes. Tickets are only $100. Formally attire, come out and experience delightful entertainment, dine, and grateful dancing. I'm so excited about this one because I was part of it last year, and it's, I'm missing it this year. Yeah, so that you guys can be there and be a part of it. It will be taking place on 963 Utica Avenue. That's in Brooklyn, New York. I'm missing this one. However, your treat will be Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, the New Nationals Party chairman. The political leader, Sister Emmeline Pear, will be there, and leader of the opposition, His Majesty Opposition, and Senator Nolan Cox would also be there. So go and be a part of this one. Tomorrow evening at 6:30, there will be a public meeting taking place in Leicester Crossroad, that's in Carriacou in PD Martinique. The political leader, the party's chair, the deputy political leader, the political party new aviation service leader, Sister Nolan Thompson, will be there. Honorable Clarice Modest Cohen and Honorable Kate Skater Lewis. They all are going to be a part of tomorrow's conversation, so go and be a part of this one. But happening here in Grenada, listen tour with Mandy. This one again, Mandy, every time I speak and I speak of you, it raises my skin, as old people will say, you're raising me nose. Eh? On Thursday, June 12th, which is Thursday at 6 p.m. at the Palms Pasture, Lower Capital, Budgrove. You definitely can go and have a conversation with Amanda Japal. She's going to be along with the past candidate, yes, Sister Yolan, who's basically there supporting right through. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say a heartfelt congratulations to a number of candidates. I should say all candidates within all the areas, yes, that are actually starting and getting the work done. Yeah? Brother Nolan Cox, Sister Nolan Thompson, yes, Amanda Japal, yes, we have Brother Diali, we have Sister Kate, oh my gosh, stalwart, Sister Clarice Modest, yes, so many areas where so much is happening right now. I want to say a heartfelt congratulations to each and every one of you guys who are getting the work done. And I'm happy right now. I'm feeling proud to be an NNP supporter. Aren't you? I am proud to be an NNP supporter right now because the thing is happening. Yeah? What we're putting to them now is if you're bad, touch a button. Yeah? We're trying to tell them if you're bad, touch a button right now. They ain't touching buttons. We're touching the buttons right now, and we're getting the results. We're getting the conversations to them. And so here is what has been happening when we start getting the conversation to them. When somebody jot me to that today, I laugh so loud. Because you see, you have to tell when you are applying pressure, ladies and gentlemen. You have to know as an individual when you're applying pressure. Yeah? If you're squeezing something, or let's say something that could make noise, and the only time you need to ease up is when you're actually hearing the noise being made, you would know then I am squeezing hard enough. Yeah? So, ladies and gentlemen, when I heard this one, I said to myself, bingo. Bingo. Because the knob has been touched and we're touching it properly. Because you know why? Easy squeeze makes no riot. When they had all their time before castigating and bringing down the name of the then or the former prime minister, it was okay for them. There were donations and events happening to help boost the propaganda machine. Yeah? So they're having events all over the place. They're asking people to donate to accounts and so on and so forth. And it was okay back then to oil the propaganda machine. Yeah? As we are doing now, which is contrary to what they did, which is giving facts and calling on individuals, you hear they starting to make statements like this, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on, I want to make sure I get it from the start. Yeah?
It's not monetized. But the individual or individuals, their page or channel is monetized. And they make money off you. And they make a lot of money off you when you go and you view that person's program. So you might be talking, well, she this and she that and she that. But you go in and you're looking at her program and you're paying to keep her doing what she's doing through YouTube. Because it's all about ads on the page, on the channel. That's how money is made. Our people. So she's not disseminating or spreading or telling people that the majority of people who listen to our program are NDC people and so on. She knows. Because look at the insight. She knows. So I am saying again, you have to become more disciplined. When you look at these programs on YouTube, right, by some of those podcasters that are against the government, that are against the NDC, you are helping them to undermine the NDC and the government. You are helping them to spread rumors and false information, because every time they do that, they get in money from YouTube into their bank account. Simple like that. Every time you view, they get money. My page is not monetized. My YouTube page is not monetized. Then you click, you're helping her spread her propaganda, spread her misinformation. You have to become disciplined as supporters, because I understand a conversation only recently. This said individual made it very clear the people who are viewing our program most is NDC supporters, because they know her and they want to hear what she said. She said so, right? Or the individual within that space said so.
Ladies and gentlemen, pressure applied. Funny enough, and what's funny about that being said, and while the proclamation is being made, when you look at, just like it is happening on my screen now, that you're seeing, like our Facebook and subscribe to our channel, and you can call or message, the very same way that you're seeing that slide going across, guess what is on the same individual's page? And let me read for you. Let me just read. As he's stating, don't go and watch and don't give them money. Here's what's going across the screen. To donate to this radio program, call or WhatsApp 415-4817 or 403-1019. From the very same page that is stating, don't go and watch because you're putting monies into the bank account. Yeah? You see, I am going to laugh because this has to be I don't know how to describe it. Because here you are, having resoundingly stated within the state for years, in excess of 10 years, that you are one of the most renowned political analysts. And you have made your finances through viewing and the mere fact that persons want to keep your program going, you're asking them to donate thereof. Somebody is using a legitimate means, because the thing about monetizing a page, it is something that is gifted to you by the actual YouTube, their business. It is not an entity within the state. It is not somebody who is just giving you monies at the end of the month and I'm asking you to donate to a particular bank account. Ladies and gentlemen, this is actual legitimate process. So you can monetize your program, and as I said, you can legitimately make monies by you having a page or a channel and you simply asking persons to subscribe or follow or like. Yes, and if you are pleased with what you're hearing, it means that the viewing would move from, if it's 400, 500 to 1.2, 2.7, 3 point something K million views in some cases. So the only reason why I believe individuals might be wanting to view a page in which they believe information is being disseminated and they're satisfied, it is one that they're interested in. So to come and tell people, don't go and view, it simply shows that the recognition or the realization that individuals are viewing those podcasters They are now seeing that individuals are viewing, whether it be NNP or NDC supporters, persons are viewing and they are listening. So if one of the individuals say the majority that are viewing are NDC supporters, that tells a sound message. That tells a sound message. It means that the information that is being disseminated, whether or not you want to state that it is different, or it is untrue, or they're being paid for it, persons are interested in what they're hearing. So when you try to bring up this kind of mediocrity, kind of way of telling people, don't view, they're viewing. And I'm asking persons as it goes across my screen, like our Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Sister Jenny, Brother Sheldon, Brother Pierre. Yeah? Go and listen to us. Yeah? The Facebook pages. We continue to ask to subscribe to the NNP page. Yeah? They say last election, one of the things that they beat us with was the mere fact that they had the social media presence. Let me tell all you, the mountain that we have climbed, we are now on the mountaintop looking down at you guys between the valley. Because we're asking, a proclamation was made last week that a press briefing now, lap and cut. People are going to get press briefing, man. Don't worry, press briefing coming. And lo and behold, 1 week thereafter, we await, while I'm asking, it is now gone past the hour, and we await a press briefing from the very said organization that proclaims that they're just what, a few days away, 11 days away from celebrating, 12 days or so from celebrating their time in office. Yes, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Ladies and gentlemen, taking an excerpt from Sister Linda Stricker page, and to investigate further, you can go onto the page of Grenada Finance. Here it is, Grenada Finance, and I want us to go into that conversation. And let us have it today. And Sister Emmeline Pierce stood up. She deliberated. Instead of listening to what was being said, there were goons castigating her, man. How can that thing was being said and what was said? And when she simply stated, if we continue on that trajectory, in a nutshell, that's what was being said. If we continue on that trajectory, the country's GDP and other financial assets would start to look very dull. Everybody was, wait, look at thing. And then the finance minister said, news out. A review of monthly fiscal report for the period January to April 2025, as published by the Minister of Finance, shows a significant reduction in revenue compared to the same period in 2024. The report shows that the reduction was more than $90 million. NNP that post it. Headline states, the IMA revenue plunge hits Grenada fiscal performance after 72% drop. St. George's, Grenada, and this excerpt is being taken. I like to make sure I tell all you where I get the thing. So if all you want to go and look for it, go and look for it. Yes, it was posted by the dear brother. Let me ensure that I get it. Yes, on Grenada Life. Yes, you can go and look for it. It says, Grenada Investment and Marketing Agency, IMA, revenue plummet by 36.4 million in April of 2025, falling from 46.5 million in April of 2024. Yes, to just $10.1 million, according to government figures released today. The dramatic 72% decline could raise fresh questions about the Dickon Mitchell administration heavy resilience on the citizen by investment funds. The sharp drop contributes to an overall revenue shortfall of $80 million of $41.4 million for the month, with the total current revenue declining by $133.2 million in April of 2024 to $91.8 million in April of 2025. Yes, this comes despite the government exceeding its capital expenditure target of $7.3 million, spending $40.8 million compared to a planned $33.5 million. The revenue decline extends beyond IMA sources, with taxes on internal transaction dropping by $3.7 million and property taxes falling by $0.7 million. Only income taxes showed modest growth of $1.7 million year over year. And mind you, that is income taxes. It means that the government is living hand to mouth. What they make, that's what they spend, and that is how it records. These figures emerges amid criticism of the administration's fiscal strategy. The World Bank has previously warned that Grenada's fiscal surplus of 4.7% of the GDP in 2024, driven largely by citizen by investment revenue, reaching $44.1 million of GDP, presents significant sustainability risk. The organization has called for reform to manage this revenue more effectively and reduce fiscal dependency. What is fiscal dependency? It means that government is simply depending on the everyday thing. You buy a flour, they buy a sugar. You buy a rice, they buy a skin up. That is how it goes. Despite April challenges, year-to-date performance shows that the government maintaining fiscal discipline with the primary deficit at $2.6 million, well within the target of $21.8 million. Yes? So, ladies and gentlemen, what I want you to gather from this, and don't let the big numbers fool you, right? Or get you distorted. It means that the fiscal space, the GDP, yes, that this state is supposed to be lifting up on, as was proclaimed in this year's budget, it is showing something totally different. And as I said, when was warned about it, persons started castigating. Even now, today when the dear sister, Sister Linda Straker, would have released the information, they say that propaganda. They stated that is propaganda. They want to know, where did she get the information? Yes, where did she get it? The total central government debt at the end of 2024. On your brace, on your nose. Was $203.9 million. 200,000, yeah? Right? $203.9 million. It was 57.5 of the gross domestic product. Product GDP 1 and comparison 82.5 of external debt and 17.5 domestic debt. Ladies and gentlemen, when we hear things and we see things, then we would understand. But I was happy that somebody would have asked, did the report give a reason for the reduction? And their sister would have posted it. Because, mind you, there are persons questioning this. There are persons basically stating to this dear sister, you lie. Because you see, the reality has not hit a lot of them as yet. The reality has not hit a lot of them as yet. Because they are not simply, they're simply not seeing the mere fact that at this stage, this is an administration that is not prioritizing the importance of ensuring that the recurring revenue needs to stop. A simple show of failing to prioritize. Our MIT minister on Monday during the holidays was giving supporters a bus tour of his constituency. Yeah? That is what he was doing. While, ladies and gentlemen, in the very sad state, there were young men and young women that had to go and do exams. That had to basically fend for themselves through parents and maybe the school by extension. But you see, again, I want to read something to show you that when pressure starts to pull, everybody does start to feel it. So it's not NNP alone that's feeling it, all of them feeling it. So taken from an excerpt from Callistra Faria's pages. As I drove through town this morning, I wondered why the Ministry of Education, not the Principal Association, not the National PTA, thought to make some sort of public transportation available for students who had to get to exam venues. The pilot school bus program could have been activated for that. Maybe the buses could have been redeployed and the bus store rescheduled. Just some thoughts. You see, as my deceased mother always said to us, a monkey only know the size of his backside until he swallow a plum seed. The nation's children was left to fend on their own on Monday last. My son included. So I'm not talking as somebody who here. Form 3 student. He too was included in this. Me as a parent, I was included in this. I had to ensure that my son get to the examination room when there was a national assessment. It wasn't something that was happening just with the school that he attended. It was a national assessment from children going into Form 3, from Form 3 going into Form 4. A national assessment. There was CXC. I believe some students got some CXC exams on that day. And ladies and gentlemen, while that was happening in the state, a minister responsible, mobilization, information, and transformation. You hear the first word? Mobilization. You know what it means to mobilize? You are involved in everything that involves nothing. Let me say that to the minister. He is involved in everything that involves nothing. You can't say to me that on that day, and if it was something that I could understand, if you say the government would have organized something, you know, the government would have organized something and put together and say, let me show Grenadians what we have done. One minister, one parliamentary representative in a state where there are 15 constituencies, one parliamentary representative, one minister of government did a busto on a holiday. What does that say to you? And he could have done it within only his constituency. Yeah? So you have a team of persons. And only one man could say, that's going goal. Is that a successful team? Is that a winning team? Is that a team that could boast? And mind you, when you look at it, not even the captain, the vice captain, more or less. Well, not even the vice captain, because he's not even the deputy leader of the party. As I say to people, take it from my hand, ladies and gentlemen. Take it from my hand and compare and contrast. Let's start with party. Compare NNP chairperson with NDC's. NNP's vice chair to NDC's chair. NNP's leader, NDC's leader. NNP's deputy leader. And just go on. Public relation officer to public relation. Secretary to... Just go ahead. Compare and contrast. That is how you find statistics. Through performance and numbers. And tell me, when you compare and you contrast, which one of the individuals within the realm of the National Democratic Congress could outshine anyone from the new National Party? Anyone. Take anybody on that side. Anybody. Anybody. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what this administration is focused on. Heard the Minister of MIT stating that politics is people. Which is a true statement. Can't run away from that statement. But it is not involving when you're trying to trick the people. Not when you're manipulative to the people. Not when you are dishonest to the people. Not when all your motive is to simply put on a face. Funny enough, a minister of government sits in office and an allegation is being placed against his name. And persons are saying that is a distraction. They are stating it is a distraction. Men and women, when this NDC administration took office, the first plot, and ain't nobody telling me, the first plot was to bring a face to say that the NDC, or the NNP, sorry, was the ones that was mischievous. So what they start with? Sister Emma's faith program. They went on further with the Polish individual. Remember? So when you talk allegation and defamation and trying to, they're trying to swing, they don't want people to know what we're doing good. They don't want people to know what we're doing good. So they're just coming up with manipulative plots. And that is what the minister is saying to the nation. No. Defend what is being stated against your name. Defend that. This is a serious allegation. Threats of the Integrity Commission against your name. And you're talking about it's just a plot. No, it is not. It is a serious allegation against you. And if you want to continue to represent the people, you ought to be able to justify or bring general reasoning to the people that, hey, what is being said is a lie. It has been said for 1 year, as you proclaim. Your name is being pronounced vividly, comprehensively. As we say, your government name is being pronounced. Your government name is being pronounced. The allegation is not team, is not small, you know. It's big. It's a huge allegation against your name. The individual is pointing to you. You, yes, you. You, yes, we know. You, yes, you. That's what we're saying. You're ducking, you're hiding. We're saying it's you. They know they come and they say, fight down. Fight down. You know? To make it seem like somebody coming at you. No. We are wanting you. Yes? We are wanting you to prove to the nation that what is being said about you is false. It is a serious allegation. And so, hence the reason why we are saying what we're saying today. Proof to what is being said is wrong. Dr. Mitchell could have stood when the allegation against the briefcase was being said. He stood up, general public, and he said, hey, lock me up. It's me damn money. I'm only sorry I didn't get more. Because he knew the stance he was taking was one that if questioned, he was in a position to declare whatever it is. Huh? They just balling. You don't look at children. You don't worry them. He don't want to play with me. So that's why he's doing that. He just doing that, man. Don't worry. Let us know that what is being said is the truth. Because you guys are going all over. You guys are going all over the place. And you guys are telling people, oh, well, what is happening in Carriacou is you know, we're working and we're working. And the work is being done and how much houses. And then when you compare and you contrast, come on. We are in the 6th month. We are in the 6th month. You would have proclaimed that at the end of last year, not this year, no. At the end of last year, that persons in Carriacou would have seen a number of houses built. We didn't ask you to say. You said. You mandated. You said. And now you're coming and tell people, oh, you feel about 16 and about 12. And you want Grenadians to accept that? From a number of 200? You said 200 by the end of last year. The middle of this year, you're talking about 16 and 17 and 17. But then the reality is this. You ever hear those things in African movie? You know, when you're watching them African movie and them really sad part, that is it. The National Democratic Congress continues to fail Grenadians. Say what you want. Say what you want as an individual. If you give a man $50,000 to start a house for you, and when you come, you just meet trenches dig, you know that you would be dissatisfied 1 year after, 2 months. You realize that nothing is happening. I set a big, every time you call him, yeah, well, the fellas walking, you know them. And then you come 6 months, 8 months after, and you realize It's all trenches that are dug. And maybe you might find up 2 pieces of iron in the ground. You're going to be dissatisfied. And this is what we're getting from the National Democratic Congress. Government administration. You are hearing too much talks. And then the reality is not hitting the layman man. A lot of nice proclamation. A lot of nice proclamation. I see one posted today from GIS that speaks to the General Hospital and the condition that is in. I wonder if I could get it self. I'm wondering if I could get it. I'm hoping that I could get it. There it is. There it is. And take a look and listen to it. Listen to it. Oh my.
Virginia Kane, the 125th president of the National Medical Association based in Maryland, USA, told the Government Information Service that Grenada is doing well compared with some hospitals in the U.S., with Grenada having low rates of infection. Her medical mission was stationed at the General Hospital in St. George's.
But one of the things I found out from the doctors at your hospital, I was very impressed with their low rates of infection, from the surgical operations and procedures. So they're much lower than you would find in a lot of hospitals in the United States. So they're doing an incredible job related to a low rate of infection. So I just have to give them some kudos related to that.
No, the GIS broadcasted this. And somebody sent that to me. So I'm asking the question, what infections are you talking about? What is infections that the persons are rating the government on? But listen again, carefully again, ladies and gentlemen. This is something we have to listen. Listen to what that is being rated here.
Dr. Virginia Kane, the 125th president of the National Medical Association based in Maryland, USA, told the Government Information Service that Grenada is doing well compared with some hospitals in the U.S., with Grenada having low rates of infection. Her medical mission was stationed at the General Hospital in St. George's.
But one of the things I found out from the doctors at your hospital, I was very impressed with their low rates of infection, from the surgical operations and
you hear that?
Procedures.
So it means all the lady was rating there is that when persons do maybe, operations, surgical operations, that much persons are not coming back and stating, okay, well, they're infected. If you do the assessment yourself and you listen around the wall, a lot of places, a lot of medical places normally get sued for, some form of mismanagement in terms of surgical operations and so on. So a lot of the times, a lot of companies and medical fraternities within the U.S. and other places, they have a lot of sue and persons always have to sue something because the operation was done and they was infected by something and someone based on how the operation was done. That is what they're rating, A drowning man would grab onto a straw. That is all the lady is stating. Yes, she didn't speak as it relates to the operational process, whether or not you have a lot of medical thing there, whether or not there are supplies, whether or not. That's not what she spoke about. All she said is that based on operation procedures, there have not been a high rate that persons have been infected. The fact of the matter is, if somebody like me talk to her, I would say Grenada doesn't sue for nothing. Because there are persons that could be dead today because of an infected operation, and the family never studied that. The person did the operation, they died, and they come and they tell you, well, the person didn't, survive after the operation. And instead of looking further into it, you just say, okay, let me bury them. And it could just be an operational mishandling that would have caused the fatality of an individual. But we don't sue here. So somebody should have tell that lady that. We don't sue for nothing here. What she should now go and find out is how many young children that have passed within the last 2.5 to 3 years within the very said hospital, maybe she would have a different. Ask and find out what is it like when it comes to supplies to individuals that are patients at the general hospital. Those are the questions and things that I want to hear her come out and proclaim. But you see, she have been doing an assessment, and the one little thing she say good, the one little thing she say, hey, kala, kala, kala. They gone with it. All she was speaking about is the operational procedures. Yeah? You have situations we know overseas where persons do operation and they leave knife inside them. Gauze and gloves and all kind of thing. And persons have gotten infected and, have gotten millions of dollars through that. We haven't had much cases. That is what she's saying. But, you see that? They post it. They post it. And they want to take it like, that's a prop. That is the National Democratic Congress for you. That is it. Headline. Prime Minister goes to Dubai. Prime Minister Mitchell meets with Venezuelan president. Prime Minister travels to Turks and Caicos. What is the fine print? What is the fine print? A meeting, a summit, nothing that is of state business that would bring benefit to state. A set of drive, as we were saying in local terminology, a set of lime and fat, a set of all about the place, shoppiness. But the headline, nice. MIT minister on bus tour. Yeah? Minister Andy Williams of bus tour. And when you pass by the bus terminus, not one bus for the nation's children to go do the exams. Ladies and gentlemen, we stand firm on one solid precedent as NNP supporters. And I believe a very high majority of NNP supporters stand with me on this. We are supporters that will support our party on the proclamation of performance. I have not met an NNP supporter that say, I supporting NNP because my mother the support NNP and my father. Very rare. And even if you support or supported the NNP on that basis, you cannot run from the fact that the performance between the years have outshined every political organization within the state of Grenada, Carriacou, and PD Martinique. You can't run from that. And so, our newly selected aviation service operator have kept him abased. And so, all in the night, I hear they say, the man a flashlight on his phone, walking through St. David's. All through the night, the Monday, according to all people, through all neek and cranny. Because why? Sometimes it takes individual or individuals to show out or show up on other persons. Ladies and gentlemen, let's stand firm that we as supporters would remain supporting this party. And I don't want to say come what may, because I don't want you to support the party blindly. But if the party is doing wrong, you'll say. But let us stand firm as supporters that we shall, will, and must continue to let Grenadians see and know that we, the New National Party, are the only party that have been tested and proven to perform once elected. Once elected. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it brings me to the end of today's programming. Yes, it was divinely short because we want to ensure that we're testing. If you realize you guys would have had an issue with the mic, and hence the reason why we do the program, to get a little testing. Yeah? So I'm hoping that you guys continue to view, like, and subscribe to all the areas you're getting information. Continue to do so as we as supporters continue to support the new National Party. My name is Royalty James. Do have yourself a wonderful evening.
Yeah. It have words like boomerang and boogie woogie, Kilimanjaro Mount, shush kebab and sukiyaki. It have tick, tock, toe, key, small, soft, old, bin, ban, boom, see, big, bottom, hole. It have peace and love and nice and sweet. It have virgins and it has sex. Liquor, soccer, you don't have to use pretext. It have big stones and it have balls. I know Willie and Charlie. You could either get stick or prick. They don't show nanny on TV. Well, I know the dicks and them living just down the road. So if I see Mr. Patrick could pass for a dick, I'm talking about the true sense of the word.